Have you ever tried to tell a friend a story about something someone said and it just came out, well, a little clunky? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're going to fix that for good by mastering reported speech. It's the secret sauce that takes you from just relaying a message to becoming a truly great storyteller. So, let's dive in.
So here's our game plan. First up, we'll tackle the basics. What even is reported speech? Then we're getting into the trickiest part, those pesky tense changes. After that, we'll look at how other words in a sentence have to change, cover the special rules for questions and commands, and finally, I'll give you a super simple checklist so you can get it right every single time.
All right, let's get right into section 1. What exactly is reported speech? You got to get this foundation right because, well, everything else we're going to talk about builds on it.
To put it simply, it's just how we tell people what someone else said. Instead of using their exact words inside quotation marks, we're sharing the idea, the meaning of what they said. You actually do this all day, every day, probably without even realizing it. Okay, check this out. This example shows the change perfectly. On the left, we've got direct speech, I am tired. See those quotation marks? That tells you those are her exact words. Now look at the right. In reported speech, it becomes, she said that she was tired. Notice what happened? The quotes are gone. I became she, and am became was. That tiny shift is the heart of it all, and we're about to unpack exactly why it happens. And here we go, section 2. This is really the core of reported speech. It's all about a little bit of time travel. The main idea is actually pretty simple. When you report something that was said in the past, you usually take one step back in time with your verbs. So this right here is the golden rule. If you're starting your sentence with something like he said or she told me, which are past tense verbs, then the verb in the original quote has to shift back a tense. We call this backshifting. And this table here, it just lays out that whole one-step back rule beautifully. You can see the pattern, right? Simple present goes back to simple past. Present continuous slides back to past continuous. Everything just takes one step into the past. Even the future, will, takes a step back and becomes would. It's actually a really consistent system once you get the hang of it.
But hold on, it's not just the verbs that do this little time-traveling dance. To make your story make sense to someone who wasn't there, you've also got to update words that are tied to people, places, and time.
Now this one's pretty much a no-brainer. If a guy says, I am happy, you can't report that by saying, he said I am happy. I mean, unless you are happy too. You have to change the pronoun to match the original speaker. So of course, I becomes he.
And the exact same logic applies here. Think about it. If your friend said she'd call you tomorrow, but you're telling the story a week later, her tomorrow isn't tomorrow anymore, is it? So you have to update it to the next day so the new listener understands. Now becomes then, and here becomes there. You're just adjusting the context for the new time and place. So let's put it all together in one sentence. The original is, I will go tomorrow. Now, when we report it, look what happens. I becomes he, will backshifts to would, and tomorrow gets updated to the next day. See? Every piece of the sentence adjusts to the new context. It's like a little machine where all the gears have to turn together to make it work.
Okay, so you've pretty much got statements down. Ready to level up? Let's look at how we report questions and commands, because they play by slightly different rules.
So just take a look at this question. Where are you going? How would you report that to someone else? Someone asks you that, and later you want to tell your friend about it. How would you say it? Just think about it for a second. Okay, here's the simple 3-step recipe. First, you're going to use a reporting verb like asked. Simple enough. Second, and this is the big one, you have to change the word order. You're not asking a question anymore, you're reporting it. So it has to sound like a normal statement. And third, since it's now a statement, you can just get rid of that question mark. And here's what it looks like. Where are you going becomes she asked where I was going. See how the word order flipped? It's not she asked where was I going, because that's still a question. It's where I was going, a statement. We've basically untangled the question and laid it out flat as a piece of information.
Now commands are even easier, believe it or not. The formula is just a reporting verb like told or ordered, then you say who they told, and then you use the to version of the verb. For example, finish your homework becomes, the teacher told us to finish our homework. See how clean that is? You just stick a to in front of the verb and boom, you're done.
Now, before we hit our final checklist,
There's one really important exception to our big time travel rule. What happens when someone says something that's just a universal fact? You know, something that's always true, like the sun rises in the east. Well, in these cases, the tense does not change. You'd say, he said the sun rises in the east. Why? Because it's a fact. It's still true today, so there's no need to shift it into the past.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's wrap it all up with a final, super handy checklist you can use to make sure your reported speech is spot on every time. Here it is, your mastery checklist. First, check your reporting verb. Is it in the past? Second, adjust your pronouns. Third, backshift that tense, unless it's a universal fact. Fourth, update your time and place words. And finally, the easiest one of all, remember to ditch the quotation marks. Just keep these 5 things in your head and you are going to nail it.
So, I'll leave you with this one little challenge. Think about a single thing someone said to you today. Could be anything. Right now, try to report it out loud to yourself using these rules. Change the pronoun, shift the tense. The more you do it, the more this whole thing becomes second nature. It's like a little communication superpower. Thanks so much for tuning in.